I like to just browse on my own pace and continue to walk.
We want them, we need them. But the reality is that many shoppers are frustrated. Too many vendors see them as walking ATM machine, ready to disperse some cash.
I usually circle back when I figure out what I want.
Just there's a lot of options, so sometimes it can be harder to choose.
Jewelry. I'm not about the jewelry.
We want them, we need them. Every market, every small business, every booth depends on them. They are the heartbeat of what we do. The reason we set up early, the reason we craft late into the night, and the reason our tent pop up across town every weekend. I'm talking about shoppers, the lifeblood of every market, festival and fair. But here's the truth. It is not always easy to say it out loud. A lot of shoppers are frustrated. They love the idea of supporting small businesses. They love walking through rows of handmade goods, smelling fresh candles, seeing art, tasting local food. But somewhere along the way, that joy gets interrupted. Why? Because too many vendors, not all of them, but too many start to see them less like people and more like walking ATM machines. You can almost feel it in the air sometime. Every time a shopper walks by, someone shouting a deal, waving them over, saying, "Hey, come check my booth, I'll give you a discount." It is not coming from a bad place most of the time, when they are just trying to survive, trying to stand out in a sea of talent and competition. But from a shopper's perspective, it can start to feel overwhelming, even exhausting. Imagine being in their shoes for a moment. You are at the market to relax, to explore, maybe grab a drink, listen to some live music, and see what is out there. You're curious. Maybe you want to browse first, get a feel for what is available before you make a decision. But before you can even take it all in, three different people have already tried to pull you into the booth. Now, here's the thing. Shoppers don't always want to buy right away. Some are just soaking in the vibe, admiring the craftsmanship, taking notes, or thinking about gift for later. Some need to see everything before they commit. That's part of the experience. Walking through, touching, smelling, comparing, and appreciating all the creativity in one place. And that's what we, as vendor and small business owners, need to remember. We're not just selling products. We're offering experiences, stories, and connection. The best booth, the one shopper remember, are not always the one yelling out discount. They are the ones that let their work speak. The ones where shoppers feel welcome, not pressure. The one that spark a conversation instead of a quick sale. When shoppers feel comfortable, they stay longer. When they stay longer, they buy more. Maybe not right away, but often before they leave. Or they come back next weekend. Or they follow you online. That's how you build loyalty, not by pushing a sale, but by creating an impression that lasts. The next time you are at your booth, take a moment to watch. Look at how shoppers move, how they stop, what draws them in. Ask yourself, am I creating a space that invites curiosity or one that pressures people into buying? Because at the end of the day, shoppers are not walking wallets. They are people who want to connect, explore, and support. They are the reason we get to do what we love. And if we treat them with that kind of respect, if we make our booth feel like a conversation instead of a sell pitch, that's when the magic happens. That's when someone goes from just looking to become a lifelong supporter of your craft.
I was trying to win him a pickleball. Oh. You rarely get a pickleball. I know.
We all want to sell. Let's just say it. None of us show up at the market, unload our car, set up table, hang sign, and arrange display just for the fun of it. We do it because we believe in what we make. We believe that what we create deserves to be shared, to be bought, to be enjoyed. But somewhere in that process, between the passion and the price tag, we sometimes forget that markets are not just places to sell. They are places to connect. Every vendor has a story. Maybe you started your business during the pandemic. Maybe it began as a hobby. Maybe it was something your grandmother taught you. That story is your power. Because when a shopper stops by your booth, what they are really buying isn't just the item. It is the story behind it. It is the spark in your voice when you explain how you made it. It is the pride you show when you talk about it that matters. That's what turns a casual passerby into a loyal customer. That's what transforms a transaction into a relationship. Now, think about the markets you have been to lately. They are growing, they are changing. New vendors every week, new shoppers every weekend. And that's a beautiful thing. But it is also means we have to evolve too. Because if we don't, market can start to feel repetitive. The same booth, the same setup, the same pitches, and eventually shoppers tune it out. So how do we keep them engaged? How do we make them feel excited again? Start with authenticity. You don't have to have the loudest booth or the biggest banner. Sometimes all it takes is a warm smile and a genuine greeting. Instead of saying, "Come check this out," try saying, "Hey, how's your day going?" Instead of pushing for a sale, share a story. This candle scent came from a trip I took last summer. This piece of jewelry is inspired by my grandmother's garden. This print took me 3 tries to get just right. Those small moments of honesty, they matter more than any discount ever could. And shoppers notice. They can feel the difference between desperation and dedication. They can tell when you are proud of your work, when you love it enough to talk about it, not just price it. Another thing to remember is that market are a team effort. Yes, we're all there trying to make a living, but we're also part of something bigger. When one booth succeeds, it brings energy to the whole market. A crowd at one tent draws eyes to the next. The smell of food, the sound of music, the laughter, it all works together to create that experience shoppers come for. So instead of seeing the booth next to you as a competition, try seeing them as a collaboration. Wave to them, remember them. If someone say, "I'm looking for a handmade soap," and that's not what you sell, send them to the vendor who does. You'll be surprised how often that good will come back around. Because when shoppers feel that sense of community between vendors, they feel safe spending their monies there. They don't just see a group of sellers, they see a family of creators, and people want to support that kind of energy. Markets have always been about more than business. They are about people, conversation, story, smile, and the shared love for things handmade. That's what separates us from big box store and online shopping. We have something they never will: connection. Maybe the next time a shopper walks by without stopping, don't take it personal. Maybe they are just taking it all in. Maybe they will circle back later. Or maybe they will remember your smile, your kindness, your booth, and they will come find you at the next market. Because real relationships don't happen through pressure. They happen through patience. And if we can create markets where shoppers feel appreciated instead of pressure, curious instead of corner, we will see something amazing happen. The sale will follow, the loyalty will grow, and the market we love will continue to thrive. Not because of how hard we sell, but because of how deeply we connect. At the end of the day, every handmade item tells a story, and every shopper is just looking for the one that speaks to them. Our job isn't to sell harder, it is to tell that story better, to invite them in, to share a moment, and to remind them and ourselves that what we create still matters. That's the heart of the market. That's why we keep showing up, and that's what keeps people coming back, not just to buy, but to belong. We talk about the shoppers, we talk about the vendors, but there's one more piece to the puzzle: the why. Why do we keep showing up? Why do we haul our tables and tent and brave the weather and spend long hours talking to strangers who may or may not buy something? Why do we do it? Week after week, month after month. It is not just for the sales, it is for the moment in between. It is for that kid who walks up with the wide eyes and say, "Whoa, did you really make this?" It is for the couple who find the perfect handmade gift that makes them smile. It is for the conversation that starts with just looking and end with "Thank you. I have been searching for this." Those are the moments that remind us why this matters. Markets are not just places to do business. They are a little snapshot of what communities look like when people show up for each other. Every booth tells a different story, but together they create something bigger. A place where creativity meets connection, where strangers become regulars and regulars become friends. That's the heartbeat of the market. It is not the money that makes it special, it is the meaning. Because when you buy something handmade, you are not just taking home an object, you are taking home a piece of someone's time, passion, and belief. That small things still matter. And when we as vendor remember that, everything changes. The way we talk to shoppers, the way we display our work, the way we treat one another. We stop chasing quick sales and start building lasting memories. We stop competing and start connecting. So, yes, we want them, we need them, but we also need to honor them. Honor the shoppers who show up, who look, who listen, and who care. Because at the end of the day, markets are not just about selling things, they are about reminding people that handmade still has a heartbeat. That behind every item on that table, there's a person who dared to dream, to create, and to share. That's what keeps us coming back. That's what keeps the market alive. At the end of it all, it is simple. We show up because it matters. Every handmade item, every kind of word, every sheer smile, it all adds up to something real. The market is not just a place we go to sell. It is a place we go to connect, to remind each other that people still care about craftsmanship, about story, about community. So whether you're a shopper walking the aisles or a vendor setting up your table, remember this. You're part of something bigger, something built with heart, with hope, and with hands that never stop creating. This is more than business. It is belonging. That's what keeps us coming back again and again.
It's a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, keeps you busy, on your toes, every day.